Welcome back to No Fluff Zone here, and today we're doing page 115, Unit 3, Week 2. So, today we're focusing on the D and the E part of our spade strategy. So today we're going to dissect the questions. We're going to identify and underline keywords, and then we're going to decide whether or not it's an explicit question or an implicit question. An explicit question means it's right there in the text. And implicit means you have to draw a conclusion or infer the answer, right? So usually for implicit questions, the author leaves little clues in the story to give you the answer without telling it to you word by word. Evidence. If the question is explicit, identify concrete... Alright, so the first thing we need to do is reread the passage. I almost forgot that. We need to reread the passage and then answer the questions, all right? So, here. All right, so we already made our prediction. Now we're going to annotate the text. So, annotate the text means we're going to read to understand the text the first time, this time. A shooting star. You should always have a marker when you're reading. It helps you keep your spot. Carla's character family got to the park setting in the late afternoon setting. The sun was shining in the blue sky. There was not a cloud anywhere. Carla and her sister Rosa character. Oh, we already did Carla. So now we're going to do Rosa. We're excited. It was their first camping trip. They ran around the campsite. Campsite setting. They saw lots of big evergreen trees. A chipmunk ran on a branch overhead. So, right here, what would be the beginning of the story? Right here. It was their first camping trip. We have the word first. So it's letting us know the beginning of the story. A chipmunk ran. Chipmunk character. Maybe something happens important with a chipmunk. That's why it's important to always annotate the text. Ran on a branch overhead. Mama said, character. Let's get things set up. Then we can go for a hike. Papa added, we should have enough time to hike before nightfall. Character. Setting. After the tents were set up, the family hiked. Oops. Daylight was fading as they returned to the campsite. So this is the middle. Because they're saying after. So after the beginning. Look, there are fireflies here, said Carla. Now let's flip over. Wow, look how happy Carla looks. This is probably Carla. She looks happy, happy, happy. Happy to see the shooting star. Everyone looked up to watch the fireflies. Just then, they saw a shooting star across the dark night sky. What is that? Rosa asked. It's a shooting star. Some people say you can wish on a shooting star and your wish will come true, said Papa. Carla and Rosa quickly made wishes. Mama explained. Some people call it a shooting star. It's not a star though. It's really just some dust flying toward the earth. It heats up and glows. That's what we see. No matter what we call it, I hope our wishes come true, said Carla. So then at the end, they saw a shooting star. Right? So that is the order of our story. In the beginning, they went camping. It was their first time camping. Then they set up the stuff. And then they went hiking. After they went hiking, they looked up to the nighttime sky. And they saw a shooting star and made a wish. Alright? So, now I'm going to give you a few minutes to read the story by yourself. Okay? So today, you're going to be reading with your marker the story by yourself. Ready, set, go. Evidence. If the question is explicit, identify concrete text evidence to answer it. Concrete means it's in the story. All you have to do is copy it. If the question is implicit, make an inference, draw a conclusion, or make a connection to answer it. So what sentence in the story helped you create that conclusion or make that inference, right? So, number 1. What happens first in the story? So, the first thing that happened in the story is our beginning. So, when you see the word what, hold on. When you see the word what, you need to think about a key detail. Happens is another way to say if something happens, they're already telling you it's an event. First, beginning. Story, another way to say that, text. So, when we answer a question, we always steal from the question. Excellent. So, you're going to write first. What's a good way to steal here? What happens first in the story? The first thing that happens in the story. Sometimes you have to get creative when you're stealing. Here we go. Thing that happens in the story is think. What was the beginning of our story? They were excited because they were on their first camping trip. Remember? Yes. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to copy this as best as you can. And yes, it might not fit in there, so you might have to use a little bit under. And that's completely fine, okay? Ready, set, go. Number 2, what happens after it gets dark? What key detail? Remember, this is us dissecting the question. Happens, they want an event. After. So after is usually, this happens after it gets dark. Dark, so it becomes night. So after night, what happens? Let's steal. After it gets dark, where? First word you should look for is dark. Look for the word dark in the story. He was in the back. Oh no, it's here. Daylight was fading. Daylight was fading is another way to say when something fades, it goes away, right? When something fades, it goes away. So that means it was getting dark. So here we have to imply that daylight fading means to go dark. They return to the campsite. So they return to the campsite once it started getting dark. So after it gets dark, where did they go? You have 1 minute to write your answer. All right, let's dissect number 3. What key detail happens, event, last at the end? So, let's steal from the question, happens last. So we're going to add the event. That's why it's good to dissect the question so you can write your answer in a complete sentence. Because sometimes you'll get questions like this. The event that happened last is. So remember towards the end, they saw something really, really cool. Yes, they saw a shooting star. Right here. So they made wishes. At the end, they saw a shooting star and then they made wishes. So you have 1 minute to write your answer. Ready, set, go. All right. B. Work with a partner. You don't have to do that, but if you can, that'd be awesome. Read the passage out loud. Pay attention to how your voice rises and falls. Stop after 1 minute. Fill out the chart. So remember, this is where you have to read for 1 minute and see how far you could beat the timer with your marker. Ready, set, you have 1 minute. All right, now you're going to read it one more time. See if you can beat the timer. Ready, set, go. Awesome. Let's review. The first thing that happens in the story is Carla and her sister Rosa were excited. It was their first camping trip. After it gets dark, they return to the campsite. The event that happened last is they saw a shooting star. Carla and Rosa quickly made wishes. So, thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget, when the author is telling you a story in sequential order or using sequence, they're telling you the order or steps in which things happen in a text or a story. All right? See you next time. Bye!